Hello and welcome to the Imagineer Podcast, your unofficial guide to all things Disney. I'm your host, Matthew Krull, and this is episode number 43 of the Imagineer Podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Muppet Vision 3D over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I know that on the surface, it might seem like there's really not too much to the show. It's a 3D attraction. It's been around for about 30 years, so what's there to talk about this attraction? But I'll be honest, there is so much to talk about with this 3D show, and in fact, I imagine this will probably end up being around an hour-long podcast episode between the history, the fun facts, the details of the attraction, and, of course, I'll include a binaural audio ride-through of Muppet Vision 3D as well. At the end of the show, we'll come back. I'll tell you a little bit more about how you can connect with the Imagineer Podcast on all of our social media channels and how you can help to inspire and create the future of the show. So, grab some headphones, pull up your favorite armchair, and enjoy this episode of the Imagineer Podcast. Muppet Vision 3D first opened its doors to the public at the formerly named Disney's MGM Studios, now Disney's Hollywood Studios, on May 16th, 1991, less than 2 years after the park's opening date in 1989. Now, it also made a 13-year run at Disney California Adventure Park out at Disneyland between February 8th, 2001 and November 1st, 2014. But for the purposes of this podcast episode, we're just going to be focusing on Disney's MGM Studios, or of course now it's called Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, Muppet Vision 3D was designed by Walt Disney Imagineering, and it was sponsored by Kodak between 1991 and 2013. It's a very family-friendly 3D attraction, but it incorporates more than just a 3D show. In fact, it includes some 4D effects in the theater, including water effects and bubbles and smoke, some audio animatronics, lighting effects, projections, and a live appearance from one of the Muppets. And because it is themed to the Muppets, the show features many of Jim Henson's favorite characters, including Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Gonzo, Rizzo, Sam Eagle, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, Beaker, Statler and Waldorf, Sweetums, Bean Bunny, and the list honestly goes on and on. There are so many Muppets that make a feature appearance in Muppet Vision 3D. Now, the story of the attraction is simple, but its simplicity is one of the things I really love about it. It just is all about the fact that the Muppets have invented a new kind of 3D film process and are inviting guests to visit Muppet Labs to learn more about this process and to see a live demonstration of the 3D effects. And of course, it wouldn't be the Muppets without some mishaps, some jokes, and just all-around sense of fun. Before you enter the attraction, you'll actually find yourself in a plaza themed to New York Street, or now Grand Avenue. And Muppet Vision 3D is within a brick building, and you'll see a tower, a clock tower, and a hot air balloon, a yellow hot air balloon up near the top featuring Jim Henson's Kermit the Frog. And there's also a central fountain featuring Miss Piggy dressed as the Statue of Liberty. And there's a lot of little Easter eggs in there as well, so take a close look at the fountain next time you pass by. There are so many details that are in there. Originally across the way was Pizza Planet, but I loved the fact that they changed that quick service area over to Pizza Rizzo. So that really added to the whole Muppet experience in that area. You'll also find some Muppet shops and just a lot of Muppet theming. So go exploring even before you enter the attraction, because although I'm not going to talk about all the details now, there are quite a number of details that you can find in these little Easter eggs as you explore this area around Muppet Vision 3D. The ambient music loop for the attraction is actually nearly an hour long. It includes instrumental versions of classic Muppet songs, including Being Green, Mana Mana, and other songs from The Muppet Movie, Muppets Take Manhattan, and The Great Muppet Caper. Once you enter the queue, you'll find some hilarious security gags. Take a look at the posters, the signs on the doors, and you'll also find a key under the mat. And in fact, when you walk in and look to your right, you see a sign that says a key under mat. If you lift up the mat, there's actually a key under there. And if you were lucky enough to visit Muppet Vision 3D during the Year of a Million Dreams back in 2006, 2007, finding the key under the mat and showing it to a cast member would actually result in a magical moment for you and your family. Now, if you do it, it's just fun. Just fun to find the key underneath the mat. If you can get to this attraction in time to experience the full pre-show, I definitely encourage you to do so, because at least to me, it is just as fun and just as intricate as the main show itself. Now, although it's not in 3D, the pre-show, again, it includes so much. It's hosted by Scooter, who tries to conduct a series of tests to prepare for the main show, but of course, because it's the Muppets, he's constantly interrupted, especially by Gonzo, and then once Sam Eagle takes over for Scooter, he's also interrupted many times, so it seems like what should probably be just a 5-minute series of tests and safety spiels ends up being closer to 20 minutes. It is a really engaging and fun and hilarious pre-show, so definitely check it out. And I will say the pre-show also includes a little bit of a feature by Mickey Mouse himself. Well, kind of. Go and check it out and you'll see. And like I said, it's just loaded with so many hilarious jokes. If you need any more convincing to check out the pre-show, consider that it was actually directed by David Gumpel, who worked on countless Muppet productions, including Muppet Treasure Island, which was one of my favorites growing up, Muppet Sing-Alongs, The Wubulous World of Dr. Seuss, Fraggle Rock, and so many more. Check him out. Again, David Gumpel. He had such a hand in so many different Muppet productions and had a hand in directing the pre-show for Muppet Vision 3D. If you've seen the pre-show before, and perhaps you even know it by heart, I know most of it by heart at this point, I'd encourage you to take a look around the next time you go to the pre-show, because there are so many countless Easter eggs. And again, I'm not going to list them all because there's a ton. But just to give you an idea, you're going to find a lot of what I'll call Muppetized, if that's a word, movie posters, Muppet gags, including props addressed to Gonzo, Fozzie, Sam Eagle, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, the Division of Art Masterpieces, and a lot more. So like I said, definitely check it out. And there's all kinds of warehouse decor. It's just a lot of fun. And you really get the sense from the details, all these little details added up, that you are truly in the Muppets lab, and that the real live Muppets are about to put on a show for you. You'll even see a few props that really end up in the main show. The fact that they put all these details in there adds so much to the storyline and the authenticity and the realism of what you experience. So there's so much that goes into designing this attraction, and all those details are right there waiting for you. So take a look around next time you walk into Muppet Vision 3D, and you'll see all of those little details waiting for you. Once you walk into the main theater, you'll find an animatronic of Waldorf and Statler in their box seats getting ready for the show. And of course, because they're Waldorf and Statler, they're heckling guests, heckling the show, but it's so much fun. You'll also find an orchestra of animatronic penguins that are tuning up in the pit. I love the fact that it is really designed like a Broadway theater. So although it's just orchestra seating, there's no balcony, you have a real pit, you have real box seats, just a ton of fun. And then once the show begins, you have Kermit the Frog welcoming you to Muppet Vision 3D, and then the remainder of this 15-minute show includes some musical numbers, some cheap 3D tricks, and some incredibly detailed 4D effects. And I know you're thinking, water effects, bubble effects, that isn't incredibly detailed, but let me explain, because they really are detailed. One of my favorite examples is that there's this scene that involves a bunch of bows and arrows being shot in different directions. I won't give away any more details in case you haven't seen the show before. I hope you have, but if you haven't, again, go check it out. But again, there is this scene. You'll see bows and arrows being shot off in different directions, and including, because it's a 3D show, they're being shot off towards the audience. Now, not directly at the audience members, but they're kind of shot off in these directions towards the walls. And if you take a look at where those arrows are being shot in the theater, you'll actually see them physically appear in the theater on the wall in that spot. Taking that a step further, the characters engage with those reactions. So there's one of those arrows that goes right near Waldorf and Statler, and you'll see them actually like kind of cringe a little bit and look off to their left at the arrow as if it was just shot next to them. Such a minor detail, but such a major detail in contributing to the overall story and the realism and the authenticity of it all. So again, next time you're in the theater, check that out. It is absolutely hilarious and such an incredible detail. And I will say, without a doubt, every single time I experience Muppet Vision 3D, and I'll say at this point, I've done this attraction probably about 50 times, I always find something new. Whether it's in the queue, in the surrounding area, in the show itself, in the theater, there's always something new. The rewritability for such a simple type of attraction is insanely high. And that's so much thanks to the Imagineers and to the entire Muppet team that put so much into designing this 3D attraction. Now, perhaps what I also love about Muppet Vision 3D, what I might even enjoy the most about it, or appreciate the most about it, is that it was actually directed by Jim Henson. Now, unfortunately, if you heard earlier, this show debuted in 1991, but Jim Henson passed away in 1990. So, unfortunately, Jim did pass away before the production was complete. So Disney actually turned to Frank Oz, another, again, very, very famous actor and contributor to not only the Muppets, but to many other Disney properties and other properties out there. If you don't know who Frank Oz is, go look him up. He is so famous in the world of Muppets and Disney. And once Jim Henson passed away, Disney actually turned to Frank Oz to direct the show in his place. This is one of my favorite stories. Now, Disney offered Oz $50,000 to finish this project, and Frank turned it down. He did agree to help finish the production, but he said, I don't want $50,000. I'm just running low on socks, so I'll just take a basket of socks instead. Serious. So Frank actually turned down the $50,000 offer, and instead, just from the goodness of his heart and how much he loved Jim and everything that Jim stood for, instead just took a basket of socks for his reward when the film was done. And Disney did respect that, and after Muppet Vision 3D was completed, they handed over a basket of socks for Frank. It's one of my favorite stories behind Muppet Vision 3D. It's incredibly touching, and I just get chills when I think about it. And the fact that Jim Henson and Frank Oz co-directed this attraction really makes it the most authentic Muppet experience possible. If you're a fan of the Muppets, or if you have any kind of appreciation for the Muppet universe, I highly encourage you to experience this attraction time and time again. I know at Disney's Hollywood Studios, you have so many other attractions calling you. You have Tower of Terror, you have Star Tours, Rock and Roller Coaster, you have Toy Story Land, you've got Slinky Dog Dash and Toy Story Mania, and of course, depending on when you're listening to this, you have Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, you have Rise of the Resistance, you have the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and so many other attractions. Don't forget about Muppet Vision 3D. It is, again, just one of the most authentic experiences at Disney's Hollywood Studios. It is one I enjoy time and time again. The waits are never that long. The show itself is timeless, and I have such appreciation and fondness for this show. And I do sincerely hope that it sticks around, even if it gets refreshed or updated at some point, because every attraction does need some TLC now and then. I just hope this sticks around for a while because it has so much to offer. It's a classic part of this park's history and has so much rich detail to it that maybe you're listening to this podcast episode and never knew before. But I do hope the next time you go and experience Muppet Vision 3D for yourself, that you're able to take in all these details and take some of these learnings and take a look around and just really appreciate and experience all those details put in place for you. It's one of the things that makes Disney such a magical place, and one of the things that makes Muppet Vision 3D in particular one of the most incredible attractions at this park. So, hope you didn't need a tissue after listening to all of that, but I do want to take you for a ride with me on Muppet Vision 3D. So let's head on over together to Disney's Hollywood Studios to Grand Avenue. We'll listen to the pre-show together, we'll enjoy the full show, and then at the end of the show again, we'll come back and I'll tell you a little bit more about how you can connect with us and create and inspire the future of the Imagineer podcast. I will say the majority of the rest of this episode is going to be in binaural audio, which is 360-degree audio. If you're wearing headphones or in-ear earbuds, you're going to get the best 360-degree experience. But as always, if you're listening in your car or on speakers, you will get an incredible audio experience as well. So sit back and relax, and let's head over to Muppet Vision 3D.
I hate doing this piano. This is the worst. I think we do it. I'm not gonna get a real I hate this job.
Nope. Oh, yeah. Hey, Roy.
Yeah, boss.
Over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, Rick.
Yeah,
Let's
Roy.
move it out.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, boss.
Okay. Now listen up.
Yeah.
Where's Chuck?
Chuck!
Yo, Chuck.
Chuck, come here.
Chuck.
Yeah, boss.
Chuck, there's a sign. There's a rope.
Rope.
Pull the rope.
Oh, rope.
Pull the rope, Chuck. Okay, Chucky. Good. Okay, here we go. Up. Pull.
Oh.
Up. Yeah. Pull up. Yeah.
What?
Down.
No.
Yeah, good. Chuck, Chuck, up, Chuck. Up, Chuck. Okay, good. Yeah, okay, good, Chuck. Okay, here we go. Come on.
Thanks, boys.
Let me see now.
Chuck.
No. Let's see.
Over here.
Yeah. Okay, here. Okay, Roy, Rick.
Yeah, boss.
Come here. Okay. Now, there's this.
What's it?
With Chuck.
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 Huh?
Chuck. Over here. Come here, Chuck. Okay, Chuck. Chuck.
Yeah, boy.
Another side. Another rope. Go, rope.
Rope.
Okay, here we go. Okay, ready? Pull.
Oh.
Chuck. No. Down.
Down.
No. Come on.
Up.
Up. Yeah. Up. Oh, good.
That's good.
Good, Chuck.
Thanks, boys.
Okay, Roy, Rick, get over there.
Rick, get over here.
Okay, Chuck,
Yeah.
the center rope.
Oh, right.
Yeah, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. This is Jim Henson's Muppet Vision 3D. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, good, Chuck.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah.
Video display test. Lose the background. Thank you. Scooter from Mars.
How'd I do it?
Hey, guys! Help! Thanks, guys. Check. Haven't I been here before? Good. Wow, is that weird or what? Hey, Tom. Yeah? Tom, over there. How technical. Thanks. Sure.
Okay, penguins, into the theater. We have to rehearse. Okay. You two guys. Yeah. Orchestra rehearsal. Yeah. Okay, inside, guys. Okay. Hey, Eugene. Wait a second. We need you, okay? Into the theater. Orchestra rehearsal, Eugene. What? Okay, Elmer, come on now. Come on, inside you too, Elmer. Okay, all both you guys in. Come on, guys, I need you there. Hey, hold it. You're not a penguin, you're a chicken. I told you chickens to stay on the other side of the road. Okay, why did this chicken cross the road? Ah, that's funny. Hey, penguins, I got a joke. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Ladies and gentlemen, could I have your attention, please? Excuse me,
Quiet! Well, you gotta project from the diaphragm.
Thank you, Rizzo.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you could step as far forward and close together as you can.
Yeah. Get real close. You see, we're doing research on deodorant strength.
Rizzo, you're disgusting.
It's a gift.
Well, we're ready to start Muppet Vision 3D. And if you'll...
Scooter, excuse me, but where's Kermit?
Oh, he's inside getting ready.
Oh, great. I've got a whole new act to the 3D movie. Just wait here, I'll get him. Okay, get ready, girls. Scooter, I'd like to present the 3Ds.
Hi, I'm Dorothy. I'm Dinah.
I'm Max. Yeah, Debbie was sick, so the union sent me.
Debbie was sick, so the you...
1, 2, 3. By the light.
By the light.
Of the silver eagle.
Not the sun, but the moon.
No, come on. No, Fozzie,
Okay.
get him out of here.
Okay, come on, girls. I'm sorry. It's okay.
I'm sorry about
It's all right.
this,
I think maybe another time. Another
Come
time.
on, Max.
Hey,
come on, get
watch
out.
the dress.
Come on.
Now, will you?
Oh, brother. Now, folks, if you...
Hi, Scooter.
Bean, where are you going?
Oh, I'm going to help Miss Piggy with her musical number.
But Bean, you know nobody interrupts Miss Piggy while she's rehearsing?
Are you doing here? Don't come back.
I warned you.
Scooter. Ooh, nice outfit.
Thanks.
Scooter, there's a telephone call for you. It's urgent.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I got him. We don't have a telephone. And now, ladies and gentlemen, while you are a captive audience, a display of tremendous tap dancing talent with the added cultural component of a pot of flowers balanced on my head. Hit it, Rusty. Dropped your pot. Oh! Pick it up. Got it? Yeah! Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Oh, and thank you. What about me?
Gonzo?
Yes, Scooter.
We have no phone.
Well, I'll run right out and get one.
Now, where was I before I was interrupted? Yes, I was going to tell you about the 3D...
Hello, Scooter.
Bean, where are you going with that?
Oh, I thought Miss Piggy might need a prop for her number.
Bean, can't you see that Piggy doesn't want any help?
Oh, I'm sure she'll like this.
Look, I'm sorry about these interruptions, but... Well, all right, we're just about ready to start the movie, so if you listen carefully, you can hear the orchestra tuning out. And, hey, wait a second. Hey, you penguins can't go in there. You'll interrupt the orchestra.
Scooter, these penguins are the orchestra. Come on, Eugene. Come on, Estelle. Come on, let's go. Come on.
All right. Before we go in, here's Sam Eagle with some important safety instructions.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Sam Eagle, and these are some important safety instructions
Excuse
for
me,
you.
Sam.
Not now, don't.
Sam, this is urgent. Come here.
What is? What?
Yes.
Really? Here?
Right over there.
Well, of course, certainly. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an unexpected surprise. I have the great honor of introducing the one, the only, Mr. Mickey Mouse.
Oh, Hello, hi there. Welcome to my park. How you doing? Hello.
Whoa.
What?
You are not Mickey Mouse. You are a rat.
Rat schmat. Besides, they're tourists. What do they know?
Will you get out of here?
Okay, but do I still get my $10?
Get out!
Right.
I've got Donald Duck back here.
Will you get out?
Yes!
I apologize. Now, where was I? Yes, safety instructions. First, when entering the theater, please move as far to the end of the row as possible. Stopping in the middle is distinctly unpatriotic. Second, do not attempt to walk while wearing your 3D glasses. You may trip, and frankly, you will look... What are you doing?
I'm just showing how you can trip if you walk with your glasses on.
Will you stop this foolishness?
What foolishness would you like to see?
Will you get out of here?
Yes! Excuse me.
What now?
We're almost ready, Sam.
Oh, fine. Okay, thank you, Scooter. Now, the performers will all go in the theater first, and then you, the audience, will be admitted. All right, performers, let us enter in an orderly fashion and provide an example. Will somebody please take over?
Welcome everyone to Muppet Vision 3D. In a moment, the doors to your right-hand side, they're going to open towards you for your safety. Please remain completely behind the solid yellow line until the doors fully open. Once you select a row and feel free to have a seat wherever you choose. However, the top row of the theater is reserved for guests with wheelchairs, ECVs, and their friends and families. Once the show is complete, though, please return those 3D glasses to the purple barrels located right outside the theater exit doors. Thank you and enjoy Muppet Vision 3D. Doors are now opening, so please stand clear of the yellow line. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into Muppet Theater. Come on in. Go choose any seat that you'd like. Just leave that very last row open for our friends in wheelchairs and their parties. We really like the red seats.
You're right. I guess Sean can move over.
Hey, Waldorf, what are we going to see in here anyway? A little 3D movie. Put on your glasses, Howard. Hey, look! Look at the guy in the goofy mask. That's not a mask. Oh, sorry, lady.
For the safety and comfort of others around you, please no flash photography, video lighting, and please refrain from using your cell phones. Now sit back and relax, put on those purple 3D glasses, and please enjoy Jen Henson's Muppet Vision 3D.
Hey, look, an orchestra of penguins. Yeah, probably took the job for the hell of it.
Hi, boss. Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here, and welcome to Muppet Vision 3D. Now, let me show you around our research center. See, here in this modern high-tech facility... Hey, careful! Here in this modern high-tech facility, we have perfected Muppet Vision 3D, a new film process which we're about to demonstrate today. Now, working the projector is an old friend of ours, the Swedish chef. Chef, everything okay? Exactly. And our demonstration includes a little song from this movie. Did I say little? I meant to say it's a huge show-stopping major song from Miss Piggy. That's more like it. Good. And we've also got a big musical finale from Sam Eagle. Sam, what's it about?
It's called A Salute to All Nations, but mostly America.
Great. So it's going to be a swell demonstration, and at no time will we be stooping to any cheap 3D tricks.
Did you say cheap 3D tricks? Oh, and here's something I wanted to spring on you.
Walmart, it's that dumb bear again. Yeah. Hey, bear, you're not even funny in 3D.
Oh, not you guys. How did you get here?
We entered a contest. Yeah, we lost.
Oh, yeah? Well, my new 3DX gonna shower you all with humor. Waka waka!
He's trying to drown us! What kind of act is that? An act of mercy!
Better off next time, Fozzie. Okay? And now, if you'll come this way, I can show you our Seekers laboratory. You see, we invited distinguished scientists from all over the world to come and work here. Unfortunately, none of them showed up. So instead, I'd like to introduce you to the guys who invented Muppet Vision, and they can show you some of their... Right now, I'd like to turn you over to Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and his assistant, Beaker.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kermit. Today, let's look at the advancements we've been working on for Muppet Vision. Beaker, would you turn on the machine? Will now generate a first living 3D effect just by flicking a simple switch. I, Waldo, the spirit of 3D. Thank you, Peter. You outfit. Watch this. Don't you just hate it when your nose runs? You know, all these other people think I'm talking to them, but I'm really just talking to you. Well, I think that we just about enough of all of Beaker. You may deactivate. What? What are you? What? Dear, he won't deactivate. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing to worry about, but please keep your heads down. I'm bouncing on people's heads. Beaker, activate the inflatomatic. The what? You... Now I can start my own football team. We'll have to try the vacuum Muppet. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're all thinking. Hey, I'm free! Taxi! Right, now I'm getting out of this place.
This way, folks. I'm sorry, but Muppet Lab seems to have been temporarily sucked up. But, what is that?
Hey, come in. See, it's my new remote control banana cream pie. Hey, come in. Watch this.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the first musical portion of our demonstration, we have Miss Piggy in a wonderful 3D number. Thank you, penguins.
Doesn't that look beautiful? Yeah, too bad they're gonna spoil it with a big whoosh.
La 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 la. Oh, sun shining bright above you. Soft breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dreaming it to me. Oh. Look in my eyes and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me. Oh, I lie alone and blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me. No troubles as life bubbles on, dear. Still craving and kiss. Oh, I get it. Knock it off. I went.
This was going so well. I was just doing 3D. Guess I'll be needing this.
What's that?
It was for the big water skiing finale.
Hey, buddy! What are you doing? You are ruining this film.
Well, I was
Get
just
out.
trying to
Get
help.
out.
I didn't mean anything.
Go away. Go away.
Does anybody know the way out of this film? Hey, you got a map down there? Well, you can come with me if you like. I just got fired and I'm running away. Terrific! Let's go. Okay.
Hey, Bean, what's up?
I'm going away. Forever.
Oh, great. Could you get me a sandwich? Would any of you people like anything? I mean, since he's going out, he could forever? Bean? Bean? Oh, Kermit! Kermit!
Hey, sweeter, that's a great effect. Hey, Fozzie, Kermit. What is it?
Bean Bunny ran away!
Oh, no.
Yes, sir!
We gotta find him.
I know.
Everybody spread out and look for me.
I'll go this way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue the show in just a moment. But in the meantime, if you see a rabbit, holler. Bing!
Oh, Bean! 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 Where are you? Bean! 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 Where are you, Bean?
Hey, what's all the commotion about?
What, he ran away?
Well, you know what that makes him?
Smarter than us! Hey, anybody seen a bunny? I don't see a bunny. Where? Where? Oh, not up there, but a bunny. A bunny? Me! Hey, Kermit, look!
What? Bean, what are you doing out there?
I'm running away. Nobody would let me help in the movie.
This is a very moving moment.
Yeah, I wish they'd move it to Pittsburgh.
Hey, Bean! What are we doing sticking around here? Let's burn a rubber.
Who's that?
He's Waldo, my 3D friend, and we're both leaving the movie. Right?
But Bean, if you leave, you'll miss all the fireworks.
Right, yeah.
Fireworks? Ooh, okay, I'll stay. But I want to help.
Gee, is there anything Bean can do in the final number?
Oh, gosh, maybe Bean could set off the fireworks.
That's great! Yeah, I'll stay and help. I love fireworks.
Okay. Sam, are you about ready?
Yes, it's a glorious 3-hour finale.
You got a minute and a half. Okay, everybody, get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, the Muppets proudly present the final demonstration of Muppet Vision 3D. this theater suffered only minor damage. So thank you very much for coming to see this demonstration of Muppet Vision technology, and enjoy the rest of your stay, and come see us again sometime.
They'll never recognize me now! Forward!
Well, what do you think? We have time to go to the bathroom before the next show. We can't, you old fool. We're pulling it to the seats.
And that concludes our presentation of Muppet Vision 3D. Go ahead and grab all personal items, please, small children by the hands and next to the doors right behind me. Don't forget to drop off your purple 3D glasses and those purple pens once you exit. And for the most sensational celebration of Muppetational Day here at Disney Hollywood Studios, we'll see you next time.
And with that, we close out episode 43 of the Imagineer podcast. I hope you learned something from this podcast episode. Again, there is so much rich history and details to Muppet Vision 3D. I bet you didn't go into this podcast episode expecting to learn so much, and I do hope you learned something new and have a greater appreciation for this 3D attraction. As I said in the beginning, it is one of those attractions that once you learn the history, once you learn all the details, you just appreciate it that much more. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about Muppet Vision 3D? Where does it rank on your list of 3D attractions? If there's anything you would change about this attraction, what would you do to it? What would you make different? What would you improve? Or do you love it exactly the way it is? No matter what your response is, you can send it to me in so many different ways. You can either send me an email at imagineerpodcast@gmail.com, or you can send me a private message or a public message on any of our social media channels. You can send those messages to facebook.com/imagineerpodcast or on Instagram @imagineerpodcast. You can also send me a message on Twitter or a tweet on Twitter @imagineeraudio. And I would encourage you to join our Facebook group, which is the Imagineer Podcast Disney fan community. The easiest way to get there is to go to facebook.com/groups/Imagineer Podcast, or to go to facebook.com/Imagineer Podcast and click on the community tab, which will take you over to that Facebook group. You can also send me your feedback in a voicemail. I would encourage you to call 516-406-8376, which is the Imagineer Podcast voicemail hotline. So whether you are at Muppet Vision 3D, at the parks, or just at home, I want to share your feedback through a voice message and hear your voice on the air in a future episode of this show. You can, again, call 516-406-8376 and leave your voicemail there. I would love to play it on a future episode of the Imagineer Podcast. If you don't already subscribe to the show, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Whether you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, whatever your favorite podcast app is, we are probably there. So you can check us out and, again, hit that subscribe button so that you are the first to know when new podcast episodes, including some potential bonus episodes, may become available. And if you haven't taken the chance yet to rate and review the Imagineer Podcast, especially in the iTunes store, it does so much to help our community to grow, and again, to let those who are coming across us on iTunes know that this is a podcast they might enjoy. And I do want to thank a recent 5-star review, which comes from Wingo1224. that says, in 5 stars, my new favorite thing to listen to. That really means so much, by the way. I never really listened to podcasts before, but I stumbled across this on Instagram, and now I'm hooked. Listening during my commute to and from work makes the drive so much more pleasant. Thanks to Matt and crew for bringing the magic. Wingo1224, I know it's not your real name, but thank you so much for that 5-star review. I'm so glad you've been enjoying this podcast. I'm so happy it helps to make your commute to and from work a little extra magical, and I will absolutely do my best to continue to bring that magic to you. One of the best things you can do to help this show is also to share out the podcast, whether you share it out in your Instagram stories, Instagram posts, on Facebook, Twitter. If you share with your friends, whether you're talking to them in person or send a text message, whatever you do to share out the podcast, it does so much to help our podcast to grow, which has been growing so fast. And I do want to thank all of you who have continued to share out every new podcast episode and to let your friends know and family know that this podcast exists. And as always, a very special thanks to our VIP members over at patreon.com/imagineerpodcast. You have done so much to help this show to grow. So thank you for helping to support the show financially. I truly appreciate you. And thank you so much for believing in what we are looking to accomplish and helping to create and spread the Disney magic to your friends and family as well. And if you would like to become a part of our VIP group, I would encourage you to go to patreon.com/imagineerpodcast, and literally for as little as $1 a month, you can get exclusive rewards and content in return, and help to support the show financially, which does so much to help our podcast to grow. No matter how you contribute to the show, no matter what you do, I hope that you are creating the best life for yourself possible. I hope that you are creating the future that you want to see, that you are doing everything you can every single day to go after your goals, go after your dreams. You truly can create a happy life for yourself. I hope you are doing everything possible to make your life a happy, meaningful one. Remember, as always, that quote from Horizons, if you can dream it, you can do it. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in a future episode of the Imagineer Podcast.
Hello again, everyone. We'll be getting underway momentarily.
Bravo 229er, are you ready to initiate launch?
That is affirmative, Control. All systems go.
Begin initial reduction sequence.
Reduction sequence begun. We're now approaching the miniaturization room, where the technicians will focus a particle beam on our ship.
Particle reducer engaged. Roger.
Entry depth set at 200 microns.
Bravo 229er, begin reduction mode now. 3, 2, 1.
Hold on, everybody.